So there we go. Turkey, like Argentina, likes watching the same movie again and again. In the case of Argentina, every time there's a currency crisis, the peso gets repegged to the dollar. Once things calm down, which inevitably plants the seeds for the next crisis, President Milei is doubling down on that approach at the moment. It's similar for Turkey. In the past decade, President Ergodan has abused the banking system to engineer one credit bubble after another. That's caused Turkey to grow far above its speed limit, allowing Erdogan to stay in power. At the cost of a periodic currency crisis. This crisis will only end once Erdogan finally leaves the political stage. The chart above shows the per capita GDP across key emerging markets. There's a cluster of middle-income EMs. Countries like Argentina, orange, Brazil, black, Mexico, blue, pink, that look similar to Turkey, blue, until 2010. Wherefore after Turkey took off and grew its per capita GDP at almost the same pace as China, in red. If that sounds too good to be true, it is. In the decade since the global financial crisis, Erdogan began using the banking system to engineer one credit boom after another. Those credit booms lifted consumption, sucking in huge amounts of imports, which is why Turkey has a chronic current account deficit. Whenever global risk appetite falters, or Erdogan arrest an opposition leader, the lira blows up. Basically, Turkey's bank credit flow and Jesus. The chart above shows just how nuts Turkey's credit booms have been. It shows a 13-week centered moving average for the bank lending, breaking down into local hard currency lending and distinguishing between state-owned and private banks. The credit boom started happening in 2017 and 2008 were huge at the time, but they're tiny compared to what's happening now. I should note that I'm looking at nominal lira-denominated credit, which strikes many as odd, given that Turkey has double-digit inflation. The reason I'm doing this is because the lira is heavily managed against the dollar. The lira-denominated credit goes straight into imports, where its purchasing power is limited. Deflating this would be wrong. Turkey is deeply divided politically. Erdogan's only hope for staying power is to goose growth as much as possible. His only tool to do that is credit, so there's no hope that Turkey's endless boom-bust cycles end anytime soon. Turkey will only regain its macroeconomic stability once Erdogan finally leaves the political stage. Jesus.